Gillian. I'm a 22-year-old education student. I'm temporarily living here, so I guess I'm going to show you around. So I found this place through a friend of mine actually. It's like a little flatlet that they rent out, and they really helped me out by hooking me up with this place. So I guess desperate times called for desperate measures. A couple of things that I brought from home to make it a little bit more homey, obviously. With these little knick-knacky things, like I got the scented candle from my friend for my 22nd, and it smells delicious. A little Peppa Pig inside joke between, you know, me and my best friend. I also brought a picture of her along with me, as well as my mother. And yeah, then just little nitty gritties. Tissues, hand cream, you know, that's basically it. Bathroom is my favorite place in this house because it's actually nice and spacious, and it's the most well lit room that there is. And like when you're showering, you can open the windows behind me, and it's kind of like a nature shower, which is like super dope. Love it. If you open it wide enough, there's like flowers right outside. There's also bees, so I don't want to push it too hard. But it's so nice, and no one can see you in here, so that's cool. My routine is that I should be, you know, exfoliating, regular washing and all this stuff. I don't though, because I'm very lazy, but I like to have all these things displayed so that people think I have my shit together. This is my second favorite place and probably like my fondest memory. Obviously I moved here in July when it's really cold and wet, and this is the only window that gets sun literally all day, except, you know, now that it's evening. And I would sit here and I would read just to try and warm up because this place is very cold in winter. I started reading Under the Tuscan Sun, but I didn't see that one through because obviously, like, having watched the movie first before knowing it was even a book, it just didn't grasp me. And yeah, I mainly just do like a lot of Bible study and self-reflection here as well, like journaling and stuff like that. So one of the hardest experiences about moving away, obviously this is my first time living alone. I'm used to having people around me always because I'm a very social person, and I felt very isolated here because I live in a completely different part of the Western Cape now. And yeah, it just got very lonely. It's difficult to get people out to the side because it's a long track from like Durbanville, where I'm from, and you know, there's a lot of like visiting restrictions being placed on me by my landlords and stuff like that, so people would only be able to visit for a few hours at a time, and that just didn't seem very appealing. Also, like the energies, like with nature and stuff like that, I enjoy immersing myself in nature, and because this is a beautiful like eco estate, it's like right here in my back door, but because it's winter, it's rainy, it's cold, it's miserable, and you can't get out, so you're becoming like incredibly cabin feverish, which is, yeah, lonely and difficult. When I get home, I immediately take off my shoes and put on like sweatpants or something super comfortable, because like all day you have to dress a certain way and look a certain way, and I don't feel comfortable, I don't feel like me. So I get into something comfortable, I make myself a lunch, which is usually something like super simple, like maybe a toasted cheese or, I don't know, coffee. Sometimes I'll just drink coffee. And then I'll just kick back for an hour. Like I'll watch something on Netflix. Like recently I've gotten into Dirty John, which is like quite cool. And then I'll just spend my evening doing some work. This is my first time having to deal with like landlords and, you know, having to consider someone other than my family. Not that I don't respect my family, but obviously boundaries aren't really a thing at home. It's your space, it's your parents' space, and growing up there you just know what is right and wrong. And I kind of didn't really think ahead or think about how my actions or what I did might affect the people who are around me. So that's definitely something I would take away from this experience, is just to be like a little bit more cognizant of how your actions make others feel. I've had a long day and I'm feeling like a little annoyed or anxious about anything that's happened. I'm in a an emotional eater. It's something that I'm proud of. Like my favorite snack of all time is some hummus with nachos, just like regular, whatever. I'm feeling super emotional, I'll just eat straight from the bag. But because I know I eat a lot, I'm gonna put it in a bowl. So yeah, just to like regulate. Also, these chips are expensive, especially if you're like on a budget. So I'll give myself like maybe 2 handfuls, which is more than enough. And yeah, I'm just kick back and enjoy my chips and dip. Five things no one tells you about living alone is that it's lonely. Budgeting is a real thing that you have to take into consideration. Number 3, you have to make your own dinner every single night, and that's difficult. Number 4, cleaning up after yourself is a real thing. And yeah, this place doesn't have a washing machine, so it's hand washing all the time. And there's no place to hang your washing to dry it, which sucks in winter. And last, what would the last thing be? Watch what you eat, actually, because no one's keeping you accountable. So that would be the 5 things no one tells you about living alone. I've been vegetarian for a little bit longer than I've been living here. I've been vegetarian for probably like 3 or 4 months now. I have to cook like a lot of really what people would think is like difficult or out the box meals, but mainly I live off of like soy mince pastas with like baby marrows, butternuts, everything. It's really difficult to prepare meals like that because I like meals that are more than one thing, because obviously you want to be having a very multi-dimensional kind of getting all the food groups in your meal. And I only have 1 cooking plate, so it becomes like a little bit complicated because it's like, oh, how am I going to keep this warm? Or I'm going to have to toss this back in to reheat it or whatever. So yeah, mainly a lot of pasta dishes, but I do like sometimes like a black bean, butternut, like butter chicken, because it's like vegetarian friendly. 3 words to describe this place would definitely be dark, cold, and lonely. It sounds horrible. It's like, how can you live in an environment like that? But yeah, like it's literally very dark in here. It is literally very lonely, and because this place gets no sun, it is literally very cold. So this little monster is one that I made for the kids that I'm currently teaching. I just realized that they didn't always feel like they had a safe space to answer questions, so they just pop the questions into the little mouth, and at the end of the day I take it home with me and I can just reach in, find a question, and then answer it if need be. I have a growth mindset, and because obviously I'm still studying teaching, I want the kids to be able to tell me, maybe you do too much of this, like maybe you say too many times, or you rush through the work and you don't give us enough time to like really ask questions if we need to. This is a recent thing, because I noticed them not wanting to ask questions was quite big here, because a lot of the teachers were telling me you're asking too many questions, and because of that they wouldn't want to ask anything more, and I don't think that's right. They're still very timid, like they don't really ask as many questions. But I found that I myself have opened myself up to questions if I'm teaching a lesson, and I always make myself available throughout a lesson, even if it's one I haven't taught. Like I move around the class, and if they have a question I try and answer it. So yeah, they didn't really need the box after all, but I'm hoping that it's something that I can leave behind afterwards, and like the teachers will see the value in it. A definite perk of living alone is that there's no one to get in your space. Even like being a very social person, I enjoy having my own space to come home to and not like worrying about like how my actions are influencing someone who I directly live with. Like if I want to play music at any time of the day or night, I can. It doesn't bother anyone. Yeah, I would definitely do it again, but I would do it in a less restrictive environment where like it is truly my space and I can make it my own space. and like I'd actually be able to have people over if I wanted them over, whereas I can't really do that here. Yeah, I would definitely live alone again. I just find that it like helps improve a lot of other relationships by like distancing yourself from those people. Like with my parents, you butt heads a lot, but being away, like we actually learn to value the time that we get to spend together. So thanks so much for this little tour of my temporary digs. If you guys are keen, we will definitely be doing a tour of my actual space back home in Durbanville. But yeah, for now, if you enjoyed this video, then like and subscribe to this channel firstly, but also like and subscribe to me on Instagram and stuff. My details will also be down below.